Dillon Brooks and the Memphis Grizzlies blew it against the Clippers a couple nights ago. Could they rebound against Anthony Davis and the Los Angeles Lakers? Speaking of rebounds, Anthony Davis was doing a lot of that in this one. AD cleaning up the Dennis Schroeder mess and throwing it down. Now, AD outside, knocking in the three-pointer. Lakers take an early 7-point lead. We showed you some good AD, now some bad AD. For all the Laker Nation, they don't want to see Anthony Davis on the ground for anything. You see David Roddy of the Grizzlies accidentally swings for the ball and hits AD in the nose. He would leave the game, and the Grizzlies would take advantage. Jaren Jackson puts Memphis up by 6. AD would get that nose patched up and come back, which means the Lakers would come back. It's Austin Reeves reversing at the rim. And at halftime, the Lakers, honoring one of their greats, Pau Gasol's jersey, goes in the Raptors right next to his late great friend Kobe Bryant. Third quarter, Dillon Brooks had 13 points. That 3 goes. He did really struggle, though, in the second half of this game. AD did not. His jumper goes. And then how about Troy Brown with the steal and the throwdown? Brown puts the Lakers up by 1. Grizzlies ain't done fighting just yet. Desmond Bane also really struggled in his basketball game. Will get a couple layups to go to get a little bit of rhythm. After Roddy miss, is AD getting a little bit of get back? Let me hurry up and dunk for you. Hit me in the nose again. Lakers in the fourth trail by 3. Schroeder just kind of flings it up over the bigger defender and Xavier Tillman, and somehow, some way, for his team, Schroeder made a play. Lakers now up in front with 4 minutes to go. Look at AD doing it on both ends of the court. The rebound. The dish to Rui Hachimura, who finishes. And then how about Austin Reeves with the crossover on Bane? 17 points for Austin. It's Schroeder. No. AD once again, yes. A season high 22 rebounds for the big fella in yellow. Also had 30 points. And it's the Lakers getting the home victory over the Grizzlies by 9. Ja Morant did get some personal good news. So the state of Colorado has opted to not press charges against Ja for allegedly having a gun in a strip club. We saw an Instagram live of what appeared to be a gun that Ja was flashing, but you really don't know because it was such a small weapon, if it was one at all. But Colorado, they don't got enough evidence to press charges against Ja Morant. Now, in regards to the league itself has not made a decision on whether they will pursue a 50-game suspension. Again, like I told you guys on the platform yesterday, that will simply come down to if the league believes they got enough evidence to prove that Ja Morant has been moving around with a gun on the team's private planes. That's exactly what it'll come down to. And by the way, it's kind of out of the league hands. All the league can do is investigate. If their investigation can somehow validate that he had a gun on that private plane, it's a mandatory 50-game suspension. The league doesn't have the say-so or the wherewithal to negotiate or bring it down. As a matter of fact, Ja's going to sit out the next 4 games for the Grizzlies. He's obviously already been suspended for 2 games. We told you guys that it was an at-least suspension and not a straight up and down 2-game suspension. So you can look at it whichever which way you want. The Grizzlies announced that Ja will be away from the team for the next 4 games. Maybe it's Ja Morant taking the initiative in his life. He did say he was going to step away from the team. Maybe it's Ja saying, I need more time. Maybe it's the Grizzlies like, yo, you know what? While the league investigates, just sit out a few more games just to kind of play it safe, just in case the league maybe can't prove that you had the gun on the private planes, but they want to add a few additional games to your suspension. Again, if they are able to prove that that gun Ja's been flying around with on Grizzly private planes, he going to get 50 games. Ain't even a question mark about it. It's out of the league's hands at that point. All they can do is investigate. Now, for the Grizzlies, I thought another interesting story came out in the past 72 hours. The Athletic, Zone Sham Sharanya, he's the number 2 NBA reporter in the game right now. He reported this story about before the Grizzlies game against the Denver Nuggets, one of their vet leaders on a very young team, how about Steven Adams, apparently called this team meeting in which Adams was like, yo, y'all doing too much partying on the road. And according to Shams Charania, Adams never singled anybody out by name, but it was clear as day if you have a good vibe and feel of the team that he was talking about none other than young Ja. So the Memphis Grizzlies are a phenomenal home team. You get them in that grindhouse, you're done. They're going to win more times than not. But they're pretty awful on the road. They're about 12-22 on the road. They're one of the worst road teams the Western Conference got. And obviously for where they stand in the standings, number 2, number 3 pretty much all year, the fact that they're that bad on the road kind of tells you that this is a team that ain't bringing the same game they got at home to the road, not even close. And apparently Steven Adams called the team out because he said, y'all doing too much partying on the road. Again, keep in mind, most teams in the NBA don't have strict road rules. We obviously know the Miami Heat are one of the organizations that apparently, allegedly don't allow partying on the road. So, I mean, you know, the Memphis Grizzlies, they don't have those type of rules. They're happy to have Ja Morant. You're not going to put rules on a guy of his talent and of ilk. You're just not going to do that. And maybe if you're not ready for everything that can be had on the road, that could be problematic to you. But again, Steven Adams apparently called Ja out, not by name, but apparently everybody in that Grizzlies organization knew exactly who Steven was talking about when he, said, hey, y'all doing too much party on the road. We need to buckle down and win some road games here. Nuggets end up blowing the Grizzlies out in the second half. Ja goes out and gets on Instagram Live and makes some mistakes that have cost him a few games, maybe more. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the update in this one. Again, Ja Morant will not be facing charges from the state of Colorado. They don't have enough evidence to prove that was Ja's gun, to prove, they don't have enough evidence. But for the league, that is still a pending investigation. And if they can prove Ja was in possession of a weapon on them private planes, 50 games is mandatory for his suspension. I'm out.